In order to have an advance, let's say, in a bauxite mine, to complete one circle of work. First one is drilling, that means opening holes in the limestone or in the bauxite with a certain pattern. Second phase is charging with explosives in the holes you have already opened. And after the explosion, when fresh air has cleaned all the front and has moved away the gases from the explosion, there is the transport either of the limestone or the bauxite with underground loaders. Either we are going to transport it to the aluminum of Greece to the plant, or to put it in empty spaces in the mine.
2 tons of bauxite in order to produce 1 ton of alumina, and most of the caustic soda is recycled. We consume about 30 kilos of caustic soda per ton of alumina, and this is the raw materials that we use. Also, we need a lot of steam, we need energy in order to increase the temperature of the slurry of bauxite with alumina. We take bauxite in the plant with trucks. In order to decrease the size of the bauxite, we have a line of crushers. The target is to decrease it from 100 millimeter about 100 micrometers, so 1000 times less. We begin with the crushers, and then we have also grinders. We have 2 rod mills and 5 ball mills in order to decrease the size. When we have already decreased the size of the bauxite and we have a lot of surface around, we put together caustic soda and bauxite, and we make a slurry that we are going to feed the next step, which is digestion. Digestion is the heart of the alumina production. In this unit, we put the slurry of caustic soda with bauxite, and we increase the temperature in order to extract alumina from bauxite. Digestion unit consists of 2 lines of autoclaves. Each line has about 20 autoclaves. We increase the temperature slowly from 7 degrees to 255 in its autoclave, and then we keep the slurry in this temperature of 255 degrees for about 30 minutes in order to be sure that we have extracted all alumina from bauxite. Then in order to keep a slurry in this temperature, we have increased already the pressure. So the pressure in the autoclaves for the slurry is 40 bar, and then after we have finished with the reaction, we need to cool down this slurry, and we use a series of flash tanks. We recover steam from these flash tanks and we cool down the slurry. This recovered steam is used also to preheat the slurry of bauxite coming into the digestion, so it is optimized thermally. At the end of the digestion, we have dissolved alumina in the caustic soda, and we have also some residues of bauxite, which is mostly iron oxide, as a solids inside. So then we have to give it some time in a settler to settle down all the solids, and on the top we have the liquid. This liquid is mostly the chemical compound inside is sodium aluminate, and it is the pregnant liquor that we are going to use in order to produce alumina. So we take this liquor and we filtrate it very well to be sure that there is no solid inside, and we pump it in the next unit, which is precipitation. In the precipitation unit, we cool down this liquid with some alumina inside, and the target is to crystallize alumina. But alumina is not so easy to crystallize, so we need also a lot of yield, that we put already alumina inside in order to give some surface, and on this surface we build up our crystals. So there is a lot of recirculation of solids of alumina, of hydrated alumina, in the precipitation unit. After the precipitation unit, we separate alumina from liquid. Liquid is caustic soda, and it's going back, recycled back to the digestion unit. And alumina, hydrated alumina, is filtrated, and it is a product that we can wash it after we wash it very well with water to be sure that there is no soda left. We can have it as a semi-product. It is hydrated alumina. We have it as a semi-product, but also we can feed our calciners in order to produce calcined alumina, which is mostly used for metallurgical production of aluminum.
Passing from all the pots. So what happens? Alumina comes from the alumina department. We throw it inside the cryolithic bath of the pot. The cryolithic bath is very important for our production. Imagine that alumina is very stable, so if you would try to melt it, you would need to go up to 3200 degrees Celsius. So inside this cryolithic bath, you need only 950 degrees. We will put alumina in this cryolithic bath, which consists mostly of sodium fluoride and aluminum fluoride. We break the molecule of alumina to aluminum and oxygen. The oxygen will burn with anodes producing CO2s, and aluminum will sit on the bottom of the pot. So as the anodes are burning, we have one very important procedure, which is anode changing, and the other one is metal tapping. So every 48 hours, someone will go and tap the metal from the pot. More or less, we are taking 1.15 tons per pot in pot lines A and B every 48 hours and 1.65 tons in pot line C. The liquid aluminum produced in our department is transferred to the cast house in order to be casted in slabs and billets. To do everything so smoothly in order not to disturb a balance that's going inside the pot. In order to monitor the process, we have a microcomputer per pot. So if you see the pot, it looks like a big thing that you're doing. You're putting just some kilos of alumina, something's going on, but actually there's a microcomputer measuring every second the resistance of the pot in microohms. So we have a set point and the microcomputer tries always to follow this set point, following a lot of procedures that are written inside this program. So meaning that we have 780 microcomputers measuring every second the voltage of the pot. They take the amperage from the substation and they are calculating the resistance. Now we have a project with General Electric. It's called Digital Smelter. So we try to digitalize our production. So for this, we're sending 24.5 million numbers per day. So they're doing their analytics and whatever they're doing, and they try to give us insights that we cannot have just by analyzing the data, because you need a lot of people to do it.
All the liquid metal from the electrolysis. The first thing that we do is that we are alloying the liquid metal inside the furnace, and after this we clean the metal and then start casting. The cast house consists of 3 production lines, 2 for slabs and 1 for billets. The first thing that we do is that we mix the liquid aluminum in our furnaces, and then we cast them in our casting pits. The main 2 parameters that we have to check is the final temperature of the liquid metal and the speed of the elevator. The main target of the cast house is to cast the alloys in the exact size and chemical analysis that the customer wants. Our annual production is 180,000 tons, 60% of which is billets and the rest 40% is slabs. Our main customers are industries here in Greece and in Europe.